What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Keith back with another stock market analysis video. Today is November 17th. We're going to be analyzing the market for tomorrow, which will be November 18th, 2025. All right, and we're going to do a quick one. Shouldn't be on too long. We're just going to go over the main SPY, QQQ, ES, YM, and gold. Not too long. We shouldn't be on too long today. Alright. First thing first, going to the daily on spot. Now, this was a bit of a shocker for me today. We did capitalize off the longs. If you was able to get in the live stream we had earlier today, we was able to capitalize on the longs at the open today. Which we took it on NQ, but we was able to capitalize on the longs today. And I was expecting today counter to close green. Just because I was like, okay, well, we probably gonna be ranging, possibly consolidating. Like I said, today was a bit of a shocker though. It ended up closing red. Luckily, we was already off the charts before all this dump came and stuff. We already made our money for the day. But yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. I didn't expect us to close red. I did expect us to possibly come down to this gap, but then I was expecting us to push back up to close green. But since we closed red, hey, we're going to move with what the market telling us, okay? Now, by us closing red right there, excuse me, by us closing red right there, it really don't do too much, honestly. It really don't change our overall thoughts of the market. Like we said, we still looking for that first break below this daily gap, possibly retest, and then push out to break out this possible range. Because as we see, it did close red, but it failed to close below the fair value gap right here. So we could see tomorrow it could try to do a retrace back to the top of the gap, and then try to come drop, or it can just we can also see a gap like us gap down below the gap and just shoot straight down. Okay. A lot of different things. We can see a gap up and above and move up. So it's all kind of different scenarios. But by seeing the red counter, what do we expect? We expect the market to what? Look for lows. It should be looking for lows. Like I said, it do make it tricky since it closed inside this gap. Honestly don't know exactly where I want to go, but hey, we should be anticipating this low to get retested, possibly to come take this low out. Just gonna have to see tomorrow. Like we said, overall, excuse me, it is a little later than I normally do these streams. Overall, we still pretty much overall bullish. Won't really be bearish completely until we come take this low out at 652.84. As of right now, to me, I still look at this as possible consolidation until we break out of here below that 661.21, a close below there. Then I'm thinking, hey, we're possibly finna break out this consolidation and start moving to the downside. So I still, like I said, I still got the overall same stance. I still can see us pretty much ranging between 661 and 684. Okay. If you want to play shorts, me personally, I say look for shorts just for the short term as of right now. Just because not until we break that 661, I'm not true confident in them shorts. I really want to see us break this level first, and then we can start trying to aim for that 652. For longs, honestly, me personally, I'll just be getting longs every time I see market structure shift, especially if we can get back above this daily gap right here. But honestly, when it's consolidating like that, y'all, when we put possibly in a range bound, Y'all know what's the best way to trade when it's range bound, support, resistance. You look at this top as the resistance, look at the bottom as support. So every time it's down here, we get our first green. You should be looking to possibly take them long, okay? So every time you get up here and you get a red, we fail to close above, you should be looking for them possible shorts, okay? Jumping to QQQ pretty much should be the same setup. Also failed to close below this daily fair value gap. So like we said, it's pretty much not a clear direction. It's not a clear direction where we want to go. Yes, it's a red candle. Red candle meaning that we should be trying to look to go down. But since it failed to close below this daily gap, we don't know if it just want to, hey, consolidate, reverse to go back higher or what. So pretty much almost telling us it's not a, I ain't gonna say a no trade day tomorrow, but it's not 100%, hey, go heavy day tomorrow. Yeah, it's not really telling us to go heavy tomorrow unless we, like I said, unless we come take these lows out down here. That's the only way we can go truly heavy. Because even if it push up hard for the longs, really, you can't really go heavy on the longs either until we finally break that high. Okay. Jumping to ES. ES. Like we said, end up closing red, but on ES, we actually did close it below this gap. Okay, so with ES, we actually closed below the daily fair value gap. So we possibly could see it coming down here to this next fair value gap. Now I'm feeling a little bit more. Actually, look, it tapped the gap already. So I still kind of think we probably come back down to this gap. But it did already tap the gap, so it very well could just turn green and just start going up. But we'll be looking for it to come retest this gap one more time. But if it just closed green tomorrow for Tuesday, depending on if we close inside this gap or not, close inside this gap, Wednesday we definitely look for the longs to go back to the top of the gap. If we close above this gap, Wednesday we'll look for that pullback, then go higher on Wednesday or Thursday. But if it won't, like we said, if it comes down to the bottom of here, to the bottom of this gap again, yes, it can squeeze and turn back green, but if it closes inside this gap, we definitely look for them shorts to flush us all the way down to the next daily fair value gap. All right. Based on structure, we got higher high, low, high, then lower low, right? Let's see. Now we don't got the lower low just yet. We gotta break this low here at 6655.50. So we don't quite got a lower low just yet. Don't got the lower low just yet. So we got high, low, high. This could just be a low if it don't come make this lower low. If it flip green here and start coming back up, it just be another low. And that's that consolidation. All right, let's look at NQ. NQ. Now NQ got a lower low. NQ has a lower low. So it has high, low, high. Well, basically lower high, lower low. Yeah. Excuse me. And NQ hasn't tapped the bottom of this fair value gap where ES did. NQ hasn't tapped the bottom of the gap, so NQ actually got more room to keep dropping. It actually got more room to keep dropping. Honestly, I think if we drop down here to this, I'm really thinking we're gonna just flush. I mean, we'll at least flush to the bottom of this gap. Now, if it bounce back up, then start building some base, then it can shoot all the way back up. But if we come tap this gap, I really think we're gonna clear the gap, and then it just depends on if we're gonna close past the gap or not. So, like we said, overall structure, yes, we are bullish, but for the time being, right now, it's bearish. Look at all this red. can't really say, hey, go long until we see a first. Like what I told y'all yesterday, we got to see our first green candle before we can start saying go back long. Right now we get all red candles, so it's saying short, short, short. All right, YM, YM, YM. For YM, we already made a lower low on YM, so this structure is gone. Yeah, so the last solidify level we got is down here now since it took that low. So this is a solidify level down here. All it depends on is it's gonna break below, retest, then drop. I don't see it just smoothly just dropping all the way down. It's probably gonna stall a little bit somewhere. I see gaps right here, so it could stall at some of these gaps. Could stall at a couple of these gaps over here. They are small, thin gaps, but they still can cause a reversal. Look, they so small I can't even get this. I mean, honestly, like I said, I'm more probably just gonna have to trade market structure. Just gotta trade that market structure. If it's in the short term, I mean, if it's in the downtrend, you gotta trade them downtrends. If it's in the uptrend, just trade the uptrend. Just keep it simple as possible, honestly. Like right now, it's red, red, red. We got downtrend. Drop down to that hourly. We just gonna follow that downtrend until it reverses. You know, got lower low, lower high, lower low, right here. Now this part was tricky because it made that low, but then it made it higher high. See that? But now it just made another lower low. So you look for a lower high, then that next red take a short back down to the low. But like I said, to me personally, a lot of these trades look like, I ain't gonna say no trade, but just don't go heavy on none of these trades. Because the market is trying to decide what it wants to do, honestly. It look like we can be getting hit with some consolidation or real choppy price action. Okay? But be careful, but like I said, we closed red. We did fail to close below that low. So we do want to see it eventually close below that previous swing low if it can. We failed to close below it. So maybe tomorrow we can probably gonna retest it to see if we can close below. If we can't and we flip green, look for that break, retest, take it back up to this gap, these gaps. All right. And I'm gonna be honest, out of all these charts so far, none of them look that appeasing the trade. Honestly, none of them look like, oh my goodness, I want to jump in this trade. So we gotta have something happening. Like we said, we got the video earnings coming Wednesday. Got a ton of news coming out starting Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that's probably another reason why a lot of these markets don't look the greatest because we don't got. I mean, everybody waiting on Nvidia earnings and stuff, and then waiting on all that news to drop. Gold, we closed below the daily gap. All right, closing below that daily gap. I'm looking for it to come down here, come down to the other fair value gap. That's what I'm looking for. So gold shorts kind of look a little bit cleaner than a lot of them other charts. Of course, we got lower low. Got that lower low. Could see a retest and drop, but I'm gonna be honest. I think we just gonna straight drop. Um, I don't really think we're gonna get that retest. Oh, my bad, my bad. This today counter. This today counter. We ended up, so we closed up here. I thought we closed below. My bad, y'all. So we closed inside. Yes, it's red, so red still say, hey, we can come down. It should retest the bottom of here, which it is doing. It's retesting it now. If we can close out of here, then that's when I expect us to drop. So if Tuesday kind of can close below the daily gap, I expect us to drop down there. As of right now, it can come right back inside the gap. Honestly, it can come back in the gap and end up flipping green on us. So it really don't look like the best trade. Honestly, don't look like the best trade. Do see this slight small gap here. Maybe it come down here and bounce to go higher, but none of these trades look the best, man. None of these charts look the best. I'll just be honest. And I think that's it, y'all. Probably gotta just do analysis in the morning when the pre-market comes, cause as of now, a lot of these charts don't look the greatest to trade. High, low, higher, high, lower, low. Yeah, high, man, higher, high with a lower, low. That look crazy on YM. Let me look at NQ, and I'm looking at the weekly. Uh, higher, high. Maybe it's gonna try to do what YM did and make that lower, low. Cause last thing we got is what lower, low with a higher, high. So it just look funky. Um, might see a hard flush. Might if Nvidia earnings come out bad, we can see that hard flush. Down, make this lower low. Might see us come all the way down here to like 20, this 23 area on NQ. Might see a hard flush. Let me look at ES weekly. But Nvidia literally can flip the whole script. Just how we seen it look embarrassed now. Nvidia can come out and push it completely up and flip the whole script. So that's why I'm thinking Wednesday is gonna start revealing a lot of stuff. Wednesday and Thursday. To the Monday and Tuesday, honestly, these two days don't look the best. Yeah, we got lower low, higher high. That's a recipe for consolidation. All right, I'm gonna call it because, like I said, it ain't too much to see here. We're probably gonna have to do our analysis in the morning and see if we can find some good scalps. But honestly, they look like don't mess with the charts. Y'all have a good one. Your boy Keith is out. Peace.